Well, that was a monumentally bad idea. So it's 11:22 a.m. Sunday, January 9th. Yeah, I didn't stay there very long. I mean, glad to see that place is doing good business. It was. By the way, I'm just walking out of Finish Line Bar. I went there. Well, maybe I should start by explaining why I traveled all the way here so early in the morning. Well, early in the morning for me, and went such a hugely long distance. So I guess I should start at the beginning. Really struggling to find adequate work to survive, to pay my bills and support myself, and this has been an ongoing thing now since, well, honestly, since before I started this vlog. It's pretty much been an ongoing thing since January of 2020, and I've probably gone back too far, so let's try to focus in a little bit more. Oh, that's not an electric scooter, that's just a kick pusher. Oh, fuck, it's an adult and a kick push scooter. It's just lame. Alright, anyway, sorry, the whole scene that I just left at the bar, and then the scene I encountered as soon as I walked out of the bar, which I feel like I want to capture on video, actually, just to show how bad it was. Yeah, it was, it kind of rattled me. Anyway, trying to focus in, because to try to explain everything that's happened in my life since my downward spiral, which started in January of 2020, would be a little overwhelming. So let me specifically explain what's up with Finish Line and why I'm here. So I don't talk with Gary, the other karaoke DJ at Bullock's, a lot, but generally speaking, we've got really good rapport with each other. I always have a good time when I come into his show, even though the selection of karaoke is really poor. And every time I talk to him, he's always talking about just how great he's doing and showing me how his, stock portfolio is just blowing up, and how he's, oh gosh, I'm so tired. I'm working 7 days a week. I got so many gigs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just, I want to be happy for him. I really do. But it's considering how much I've been struggling, and now for how long I've been struggling, like actually, Jesus, as of today, it's actually over 2 years. Yeah, it's salt in the wounds, and I'm not trying to lash out at him. I know he means well. And Gary's a really good guy, but it's just like, but every time he's like that, I'm just like, yeah, wow. If you could throw a little cheese this way, that would be nice, because I'm really struggling. Like, all I've got here is Thursday nights. I could really use some more nights here, or more nights anywhere, anything. And and there's several times he's been like, well, don't you have another job? No, I don't have another job. I can't seem to find another job. And he always just seems dumbfounded by that. And it's like, how are you making ends meet? And I'm like, dude, I'm not. I'm just getting really, really deep in debt, and I'm not eating much. And anyway, last time we had one of those type conversations, and god damn it, my right shoe is untied again. Last time we had one of those kind of conversations, he had commented, well, you should really go up and talk to them at the Finish Line Bar. I hear they're looking for a karaoke host, and they pay really well. I'm like, well, okay, sounds like a plan. So they're about 19th Avenue and Bell. So did my research, found out what the place was, and I think within a couple of days, I came up here for the first time during happy hour, which was genuinely a great time. I can't think of the name of the bartender that I met, but she was an absolute sweetheart. And it wasn't dead empty, but it wasn't, uncomfortably busy, and was able to just kick it there, met some cool people, had some fun conversations, played some music on the jukebox. There were free chili dogs. Hello, got me at free chili dogs. And the draft beer was like really inexpensive, so it was just a win all the way around. And I finally got to the point where I could, talk to the bartender about what was going on with karaoke, and she said that she was the day bartender, so she didn't really know what was going on, but gave me contact information for the owner and kind of gave me pointers on when would be a good time, the best time to get hold of them, how to get hold of them, that sort of stuff. And so I'm feeling kind of positive about that. Oh, this looks like a clubhouse for a motorcycle club over here. Never noticed this around this corner before. Oh no, I stand corrected. It's an American Legion post. Wonder how long this has been here. Those bars on the patio makes it look like a jail, sort of. Legion Post 105. All right. So anyway, so yeah, that was a really good time, and ended up like coming back the next day or the day after. I left some paperwork there, so I needed to kind of come back. I'll leave the next day or the day after just to see if I'd left my paperwork there, which I did, and they'd held on to it for me, which was great. And on that particular trip, I did manage to talk to the owner, and he was a little on the busy side. Now, we had kind of bounced texts back and forth, and that had gone okay. I mean, it's super short, and I don't always respond to text very quick because I'm not able to get text with my iPhone, and 90% of the time I'm using my iPhone. So the texts come in on one or the other Obama phone. I don't really use those phones as phones because they're absolutely miserable, underpowered phones. So yeah, I'm not always so quick to respond to text messages on them. But I, we did have some brief ones, and it kind of seemed like he was, busy and not particularly responding fast either. So, whatever. I did manage to talk to him briefly that next day when I came in, and he seemed interested in having me do karaoke, but on the same token, like, well, yeah, I've got somebody, and we're just, doing it on Friday and Tuesday. He goes, I'll get in touch with you later. Well, he hasn't gotten in touch with me since. And I did see him today. So fast forward to, I forget exactly how many weeks ago that was, but fast forward to, well, anyway, once he said, we did it Friday and Tuesday, I've been trying to get here on a Friday or a Tuesday. I finally made it here on a Friday, I want to say about 3 weeks ago. And that ended up being kind of a clusterfuck because of my transportation situation. And by the time I got here, it was too late to really stay. Like I thought I got here in plenty of time, and to be honest, I didn't get here late. Didn't get here late, but I got here at about got here at about it didn't really feel late, maybe about 9:30 or maybe 10:30. It took a while to get here from Bullock's on a Friday, and when I got here, I was surprised because when I've been there, during the day, generally speaking, happy hour, it's been not an overwhelming crowded bar, but certainly like what I would consider a comfortable level of people in a bar for happy hour. And there's some available tables, there's a little bit of available space in the bar, but generally speaking, it's a decent crowd. The bartender's staying busy, music on the jukebox, and it's just a comfortable vibe. And did I mention there's free food? There's free food. There's chili dogs. Really like chili dogs. Also nachos and some other free munchies as well. As long as you're buying drinks, and of course I'm grabbing drinks, grabbing some cheap ass light beer, but whatever. I'm still buying drinks and tipping my bartender. And so anyway, I come in and I'm expecting it to be based on how busy it is on happy hour, I'm expecting it to be pretty busy on a Friday night. And I'm just going in to see, you know, how good the karaoke is. Kind of to gauge if this is something worth pursuing, or if he's already got something that's, you know, comparable to the services I'm providing, and I'm just, you know, spinning on wheels trying to take somebody else's job away from them, which I'm really not about doing. So I get in there and it is dead empty. I mean, there are maybe 4 people at the bar that don't appear to be remotely interested in karaoke. There's like a group of 4 people that don't appear to be speaking English at another table that also don't seem particularly interested in karaoke. And then the KJ is there, and there's some friend that is near her talking to her, and they're kind of lost in their conversation. And she's just streaming. I mean, you could say she's DJing. I guess to some people this passes as DJing, but she's just simply streaming music from Spotify. And nothing particularly special or edgy about the music, which, you know, that's not something that has to be special or edgy. Whatever, play the hits, that's what people generally like. But yeah, she's just streaming it off Spotify. Doesn't particularly seem to be picking out the songs. She just seems to be letting it roll with letting its AI do its thing. And I walk in, I see like a background on the screen, so it kind of looks like she's set up for karaoke. I see microphones. And so I ask her, you know, hey, are you doing karaoke? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, okay. Go to the bar, I order a big stein of Miller Lite, and proceed to check the rest of the bus routes. Because as I was checking bus routes home on the way there that night, it was everything I was coming up with was just like, man, I gotta leave here so early to make it, to not be stranded far from home. Anyway, so I get to anyway, I sit at the bar, start drinking my beer, and then I'm checking a couple other options. I'm just like, thinking to myself, there's gotta be some better option where I don't have to leave here, you know, at 10 p.m. For a karaoke show that started at 9, so I can at least get a feeling of what, you know. And it's possible that maybe that it does get busier later. I mean, there are times at Bullock's that if somebody was there at my show between 9 and 10, you'd think that I didn't bring a crowd. But usually about 10:30 it's packed. So, to be fair, I never got to see what it's like later due to transportation issues and the fact that I had to leave early to have transit home. But I sang a song, it sounded good, the host was friendly. And then I pretty much pounded my beer and bolted out the door. With kind of a note to myself, well, you know, I need to get back there. As far as her karaoke, she didn't seem to have her own library. It looked like she was, you know, just as she was using Spotify to stream music and calling that DJ, she was using the Carafun streaming karaoke service and calling that being a KJ. Which, whatever, that seems to be a easy way to do it in the modern day. For somebody who's been working on their craft in their library for, you know, over 15 years, that seems pretty weak, but, you know, I mean, that's just the way things are these days. So I think I'm just, instead of waiting for this bus, I think I'm just keep walking because I want to get this off my chest. So but not sure what that's about. Anyway, yeah, don't really want to wait at the bus with that person either. Wait at the bus stop for that person. Yikes. Yeah, you know, honestly, that's one of my biggest problems with riding the bus is just unsavory people that I have to share the bus stops with while waiting. I don't understand what the guys do digging in the trash, but it just doesn't look good. Oh man, it's another reminder of how far so many areas of Phoenix has gone downhill. This pawn shop here, Pop First, that is in a really fancy looking building. It's a fancy looking building because it used to be Bill Johnson's Bill Johnson's Big Apple, which was a really great restaurant back in the day. And now it's a pawn shop. Alrighty then. Anyway, so back to the story, back to the finish line. Yeah, I had to bolt out quick, and I'm thinking, well, at least I know that what I offer in terms of what I offer as a karaoke DJ, slash DJ, is way beyond what she's offering, and what she's doing is pretty much the bare minimum. I know how to sell that. If in fact he isn't happy with it, I can at least say when I went there it was dead. As far as do I know if it gets busier? I would imagine the bar owner, by his numbers, knows if it regularly gets busier later. And if he's happy with the numbers he's pulling in, obviously he's not going to really have much to say to me anyway. But if he isn't, then we can have a conversation about that. So anyway, so yeah, that was 3 weeks ago, I think, maybe 4 weeks ago. Feels like about 3 weeks ago. My weeks are starting to just blend together. Anyway, I did quite the sprint to catch my bus. I almost missed the bus, which would have left me stranded. I think had I missed that bus, the closest I could have got to home would have been Central and McDowell. And I feel I'm very capable of walking home from Central and McDowell, but that would have sucked in a really big way. Anyway, haven't really put much thought or effort into the finish line since then. Really hoping that their owner would reach out to me, as he said he would. But then thinking about, well, shit, my for anybody trying to contact me in any way other than sending me a text message via chat as opposed to SMS from an Android phone, nobody can get a hold of me at the number on my business card since Christmas Eve. So it's, even if he did try to call me or if he tried to text me, there's no way he could have got a hold of me. And yeah, maybe I need to reach out to him and try to go back there again, see what's up, and to let him know, hey, I'm still interested in doing karaoke here. It's a new year. You ready to start something better than what you got? Because what you got really isn't that impressive. But honestly, I've been just trying to find the time to get here on a Tuesday. Get here, kind of early on a Tuesday. That way I'm actually here when the karaoke sets up, and see what kind of a crowd they're pulling on Tuesday. I don't know, just afternoon on Tuesday, and then maybe come back the next day on a Wednesday. Try to make that happen. And this last couple of weeks, I've just had so much going on, and haven't been able to make that happen. So, shit, my bus is coming, so I need to wrap this up. Anyway, yesterday, Priscilla and I had this weird discussion that kind of ended up with me driving her to get food at a store that's at Greenway Road, and let's go get cheese from a specialty store at Greenway and Cave Creek Road. To me, that just seems like an absolutely absurd distance to drive for cheese, but apparently she's baller and has money to spend on overpriced cheese and gas that costs almost $4 a gallon driving across town both ways. But she offered to let me drive, and I haven't got to drive in a long time, and that's been driving me nuts, so I kind of jumped at the chance of that. Anyway, we get to and part of the thing is that going there, I'm like, hey, well, if we're headed that way, headed up to Nearly Bell Road, would you be down to go over to Finish Line and check out that bar I've been telling you about, that I think would be a good location for my karaoke show? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. So, they got free chili dogs. She's like, well, I don't do hot dogs, but I don't know where they're from. And I'm like, well, okay, well, you do, chili cheese nachos. She's like, well, I could do nachos and cheese. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Anyway, went there yesterday and ended up having she was kind of a stick in the mud while I was there, Priscilla was, but the bartender that I had mostly been dealing with, the happy hour bartender, was there, and I had a great conversation with her. And then the nighttime bartender, which I've had a couple conversations with at shift change, but I've never really stuck around on her shift, because I don't think she's the one that was there when I went on the Friday night for karaoke briefly. She's having a bar, and I was trying to close out my tab. It was obviously, Priscilla was bored out of her mind, and yeah, I may as well just get the hell out of here. Nothing really happening. Discover got declined. That's always fun. Gave her a different card, and that went through. And then I kind of ended up getting in the conversation between the guy on my right. I was sort of at the well, between the guy on my right and then the nighttime bartender who was there just as a customer on my left. And I think Priscilla got jealous of me talking to her, because she has no idea what I'm doing, or who she is. But Priscilla has jealousy issues. But not the kind where she come up and join the conversation to find out what's going on. Just the kind where she decides instead to go out and smoke, which is one of the many reasons I don't want to be with her. I mean, she told me over a decade ago she was going to quit smoking, and that hasn't happened yet. So that's fine. I'll quit stepping out on her when she quits smoking. Until then, we're both lying to each other. So that is what that is. Anyway, so I talked to her, and I mentioned to her that, and that's something I didn't mention about this bar, is that apparently the bartender that I usually work with at Bullock's, Sean, is a regular at this bar, and he knows some people at this bar. And then the bar back that I've been working with for like the last 4 months, Matt, also works here part-time. Anyway, I really want to finish the story, but here comes my bus. Anyway, long story short, I just went in there today. It was a bad time. It was crowded. It was football. There was no music. There was everything that makes me not want to be in a bar going on. So, had to bounce.